Tiago Mendoza was born in a forgotten village in eastern Nigeria, a place where the red earth clung stubbornly to bare feet, and dreams were buried before they could learn to breathe. The sun rose harshly there, unforgiving, exposing the poverty that wrapped itself tightly around every household. As the first son in a family of 6, responsibility was placed on his shoulders the moment he could walk. Responsibility far heavier than his young bones were meant to bear. Their home stood at the edge of the village like a tired old man, cracked mud walls threatening to crumble and a rusted zinc roof that screamed angrily whenever rain fell, as though protesting its own existence. At night, the wind slipped through the gaps in the walls, whispering hunger into their empty stomachs. Hunger was not a stranger, it was a constant companion. Laughter, on the other hand, visited rarely, like a guest who had lost the way. His father was a quiet man, hardened by years of labor under the burning sun. His hands were rough, his back permanently bent, but his eyes held a stubborn belief. Education was the only road out of suffering. Though his pockets were empty, his determination never was. No matter how little food there was at home, Tiago Mendoza never missed school. Each morning he walked miles barefoot, clutching worn books as if they were treasures, unaware that fate was already tightening its grip. Then fate struck without warning. When Tiago Mendoza was only 8 years old in primary 6, his father fell ill. At first, it was just a cough, dry, persistent, unsettling. Soon the cough became weakness, and the weakness became silence. There was no money for hospitals, no medicine strong enough to fight whatever was stealing his father away. Nights grew longer, filled with whispered prayers and fear thick enough to choke on. One morning, before the sun could rise, his father took his last breath. The house fell into a terrifying stillness. Tiago Mendoza stood frozen, staring at the lifeless body of the man who had been his shield against the world. In that moment, childhood ended. The weight his father once carried fell squarely onto his small shoulders. Outside, the village continued its noisy existence, unaware that a boy's world had just collapsed. And as his mother's cries pierced the dawn, Tiago Mendoza realized something chilling. Poverty was no longer just a hardship. It was now his enemy.